Welcome back to News Weekly. Now, with the IMF loan approved, I decided to see what I could learn about what this meant for Pakistan. To do that, earlier I sat down with the head of international sales at BMA Capital, Ahsan Chishty. Let's see what he said. I'm standing on II Chandigarh Road, the financial heart of Pakistan, and things look grim. This is what the fallout of a financial collapse looks like. BMA, which means buy more assets, or something vague along those lines. Right, now come this way and we'll take a look at some of the financial workers in their natural habitat. Come on. I think I see a herd of them right through here.
Now, workers in the financial world are naturally very shy, and I try not to disturb them too much. They frighten easily and can run for safety whenever startled.
Ahsan Javed, head of international sales at BMA. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, very nice meeting you.
All right, couple of questions really quickly. First of all, addressing the IMF bailout. Let's say you're maybe 25, 28 years old, okay? And you're living at home with your parents. You're 28 years old. Perfect, then this analogy will work brilliantly. You're living at home with your parents for the last 28 years. And you've been living off of their money for 28 years. Then you decide, you know, I'm going to strike out on my own, I'm going to be my own man, be independent, and you move out. And you try for a couple of years, you live in an apartment, you buy a big screen TV, you get some nice tiled flooring, live a nice resplendent lifestyle, and you run out of money. And so you have to call up your parents and go back to them, and now your parents take you back in, and they're giving you pocket money, but with certain conditions that, you know, don't buy any more big screen TVs. Is that what the IMF bailout for Pakistan is like?
Well, somewhat. The thing is that what people forget is that the IMF will be sitting down reviewing Pakistan every 3 months. So it's literally a situation where parents will sit down and tell their kids after every 3 months whether they deserve further funding or whether they just need to go get out and, you know, do everything on their own again.
Right.
But more or less, in a manner, yeah, it is a very strong oversight over the Pakistan's economy, which and a lot of compromise as far as sovereignty of policy goes.
Okay. Sovereignty of policy, we're going to be giving up a lot of that, but we're still getting money. I mean, the good times are back again, right? Does that mean now the politicians can finally stop suffering in those small cars and eating cheap meals, and they can, you know, live the good life, and all of us in Pakistan, I can get the big screen TV I've been after, basically?
Well, I think the problem is the politicians have not been suffering for the last 8-9 months. They've been spending away, and that is where the issue has emerged. The government's borrowing from the state bank is at stratospheric levels now, and this is what really has to be brought back under control. And I think it will be the reverse of the situation that you're suggesting, that politicians will actually have to cut back on their spending rather than spend more.
So, you know, once this money comes in, now it doesn't just, they don't just hand you a check and make it out to an individual. They say, all right, here are certain preconditions and we want you to meet those preconditions and all that. Is Pakistan going to meet any preconditions? We've never done well with homework. We're not particularly good at exams, and you know, it's like a mother-in-law telling you that you can marry my daughter, but first you have to get a job, shave, clean your, you know, get a good haircut, and then maybe. Are we the kind of good groom that a mother-in-law could want?
Well, historically, as far as the political governments go, we've had a pretty bad record as far as meeting IMF requirements are. During much of Benazir and Nawaz Sharif's governments, we would fail with the first tranche. They won't give us a second tranche because we never met those targets. Right. Musharraf was much more effective that way, the Musharraf regime. They were able to carry out the entire program. They took out 14 tranches, able to meet each and every parameter, and they effectively got married. But
and then the divorce happened, and
yeah,
it got messy.
Let's not go there.
Yes, basically.
So the thing is that those parameters, to some extent, the government is already has formulated policy which will allow those parameters to be met. Monetary policy has been tightened. Fiscal deficit, they're looking to narrow the fiscal deficit. But unfortunately, if they're not able to do so as stringently as IMF requires it, then probably we would have to, the stabilization program will probably be annulled.
Ahsan Javed, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. That wraps up this edition of News Weekly. If you find any news stories worth mocking, or just want to send me your comments, suggestions and feedback, write to newsweekly@dawnnews.tv. Also, highlights of each week's episode can be seen on youtube.com/newsweekly. For those of you who want to watch them again and again and again and again, and then you can email them to your friends to watch again and again and again and again. I'm Sami Shah. Thanks for watching.